So today we have a session about efficient design of light gauge steel systems. And first I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Renata Iacciene, lead application engineer, and today with me is Valentin Balsavich, who's our certified structural engineer. Our mission to our clients and in general our mission is that we create solutions to accelerate BIM based on the experience of the most advanced BIM users. And our solutions, they go for BIM execution and lot quality control, and our previous brand was Tools for Revit. AGA-CAD is the professional developer of BIM software and add-ons that are compatible with Autodesk Revit, and we are Autodesk authorized developers. We are operating and we are Autodesk partners for 25 years, and we have Autodesk training and certification centers, and our training center is the oldest in the Europe. And at the moment we have sold more than 8,500 commercial licenses that are used in 129 countries. And we continuously develop our existing solutions while also creating based on the needs of our clients. And the most important value of our team is customer alignment. We strive to respond to the needs of every client. And our work is driven by our customers' needs, and there are the benefits we strive to deliver to our customers is less stress in daily work, easier BIM, and satisfaction with the return of investment. So our promise to the customers is reducing BIM stress. At the moment, we have actually many products, and we can divide them into 9 main parts. Here in the top we have MEP engineering. In this group we have solutions for MEP engineers. So there are products for fire protection systems, for distributing hangers automatically on the pipes, ducts and cable traces. Then we have very powerful product cut opening. That's very powerful for making openings around ducts, pipes, cable traces and conduits. Then we have BIM Tree Manager. It's very powerful for managing parameters and parameter values that are used in the project. Then we have Sustainable Design Group. Here you can find 2 solutions. Then we have 4 solutions in Smart Browser Group. With those solutions you can very easily find the families in the library, then you can load them into the project and you can modify them, so you can manage your content easily. Then we have Tools for Revit. Here you can find different solutions for documentation and for modeling. Then we have Smart Assemblies. It goes for making shop drawings automatically. Mostly it goes for prefabricated elements, for the walls, columns, beams, floor panels, and so on. Then we have wood framing. Here you can find 4 solutions for framing and for adding wooden frames on the walls, floors, and then we can very easily make wooden trusses and wooden rafters according to the roof shape. And today we are going to talk about metal framing. And actually here we have released a new version for the Wall Plus, and also we have released 2 new products, Rafter Plus and the Wall Plus. So the Wall Plus, Metal Framing Wall Plus, it provides a set of intuitive framing functionalities for metal wall frame design from model to shop drawings, and at the same time you can easily export all those frames into CNC machines. Then Floor Plus, this is brand new software, but at the same time it's communicating with the Wall Plus, because we are using the same scenario for framing the floor panels, and it automatically generates floor metal framing members, including joints, buttons, bridgings, blockings, noggings, and so on. At the same time, also it can be anytime exported to CNC machine. Then Rafter Plus, it goes for making roof framing using light gauge steel elements. And then Truss Plus, and it goes for making trusses automatically, but at the same time you can very easily make shop drawings. Okay, so now I'm going to my Revit model, and actually if you have any questions, you are welcome to add those questions into GoToWebinar dialog, and in the end of the session we will try to answer them. First, I would like just to start with a few examples and with possibilities. Actually, our Wall Plus, metal framing Wall Plus, it supports C plus C and C plus U systems. So in general, there are the most popular systems, and actually if you are working with different manufacturers like Pinnacle, Hovig, Metrol, or Carl Dietrich, then you can very easily adjust those frames, and you can predefine the frames exactly according to your current manufacturer. So let's take a look into this C plus C system, and as you can see, that system is tempered, so you can get such wall and frame ends. Then we can take a look into C plus U frame with a laterite bracing. So we can check here how those bracings looks like, and at the same time the tool automatically can distribute different connections. And as you can see, so U is in the bottom and the top plates, and for the studs we use C profiles. Actually, those families, in my case, I'm using Simpson family, but actually you can use any families you need. The main purpose of our product is to distribute those families in different ways and according to your framing system. Then one more example, C plus U frame with blockings. Again, we can take a look into those frames and into those connections. One more example. Here we have Carl Dietrich headers. So also you can use such headers if it's necessary. And also one more Carl Dietrich with a red header. Okay, so here we can take a look into the red header. So as you can see, there are different options and different possibilities for distributing frames. And as you can see here in this example, we even have the offsets between those profiles. Now let's start from the beginning, and I'm switching to my projects, and here we were going to try both those two systems, C plus C and C plus U. And after installation, after getting the installation of the Wall Plus, or for example Floor Plus, you can find those solutions in the Separate Tools for Revit Metal Framing tab. And first thing that you have to do before working with the project, you have to load sample families and schedules into the project, and then with the framing configuration, you have to find and you have to predefine settings for for your future frame. So first thing that you have to do, you have to choose what exactly configurations you're going to modify. So we're going right now to check the main frames, but also you can use secondary frame. So actually in your wall you can have 2 layers or even 3 or 4 layers with different metal frame profiles. Actually, with the software, there are no any differences if you use 2, 3 or 4 layers in the wall. Still we can very easily frame them. So there are no limitations in the amount of layers. And then we can predefine our own configuration. Actually, those 4, there are sample configurations that we provide together with the product, but you can modify them and you can save them for your future projects, and also you will be able to share that configuration with your colleagues, because those configurations, they are saved in the separate XML file. Now let's take a look into the common settings. So with the common settings, you just need to predefine your own families for the main studs and for the plates. Actually, again, those families, they are our families with the profiles, but you can modify them easily if it's necessary. Also, you can predefine and you can add your own new types. Then element mark definitions, it's very important tab, because here you have to predefine your own marks and your own descriptions for different elements like top trimmers or sill plates, headers, and so on. That information will go into the schedules later, so that's very important. Then with the wall framing settings, you have to choose what will be the distances between the main frames, what kind of top plates you're going to have, and how many top plates, the same with the bottom plates. Then we have window framing. You just need to predefine your own settings for different window sizes. That's very handy, because you can have your own setting for the small windows and then another setting for the big windows. So if we take a look into configuration, this is a separate dialog for predefining different headers, then for predefining sills, trimmers, other studs, so you can choose Pratt or Warren, diagonal cripples if it's necessary, and additional offsets. Then the same it goes for the door framing, and very similar it goes for the opening framing. So let's say if you have a duct or pipe that's going through the wall, we can very easily frame that. Then we have L connections, and with the new version we added additional L connections, then again T connections, free end connections, V connections. Then you have to choose what bridgings and noggings you're going to use, what will be continuous bridging and nogging. Actually, this is a new feature that we added into new Wall Plus version. Then we added additional possibilities for the secondary bridging and nogging or blocking. Then we have possibility to add bracings, then additional studs, additional noggings, and then details. So for the details, also with the new Wall Plus version, we add the possibility to insert different details, and actually you can have your own families and you can predefine those families and add them automatically into different position of your top plates or bottom plates, bridgings, and headers, sills, and so on. Then we have possibility to add service holes, then additional details on the studs, and then stud holes. So after going through that configuration, you just need to save that, and we can run the process. So I'm going to select several walls from different systems. Just before that, I just want to know that, for example, here I have the wall with one layer, and this wall layer is linked with my configuration. So after making your own configurations, you just need to make a link. So here that will show you the list of all walls that are used in the project, and you can link the layer together with a framing configuration. And the same if we take a look into these layers. Here I have a basic wall just with main layer, and then two layers from the both sides. It goes for the sheeting. So it's very easy to make the link. You just go to the wall link, and then you're saying what framing configuration you use for the main frames, and then we're going to add sheetings from the both sides. Okay, and now we are ready to make and to add those frames. So I'm going to use, and I'm going to filter different walls and with different shapes. And now we have to run the process. So after framing wall, now the tool, after pressing frame wall, now the tool is adding frames, and it's adding according our configuration settings. So now the tool knows where exactly to put the frames, because now the tool reads information from the wall layer, and it distributes the frames exactly according to predefined configuration. Okay. And you can very easily see that possibilities and see that in the dialog. I mean, in the Revit model, now there are two walls framed, and you can see the process. Actually, all those frames, they are just regular structural framing elements, and they are under the structural framing category. So all those frames, they have analytical lines. So you can very easily later add loads on the wall panel or on the floor panel, and then you can push the model to calculation system. So it depends on the calculation system you use, but it can be, for example, Autodesk Robot or any other calculation system that you use. Okay, we're finishing with framing those walls. After adding those frames, anytime we can modify them, we can predefine and we can change any setting we need. Because now the tool adds the frames according to our default configuration, but anytime it can be changed according to the custom needs. Okay, and we have to wait for one more wall. So you can just imagine how much time it would take if you would try to add them manually one by one for adding those and for making those frames. So it's really time consuming. And here with Wall Plus, just after 1 minute we have framed 6 walls. And now the tool, let's take a look. Okay, so now we can see in this part we have C plus U system. Okay, so we can take a look into those profiles, and also we can take a look into this one. So this is C plus C system. And now if we take a look again into the plan view, the layers, they are added exactly where it should be. And also let's go into the section and let's check the headers, so you can see how the headers looks like. So this is the U profile, then C profile, and then U profile above. And one more section that I would like to show you. Also, it could be, for example, such header type. So it's like U profile, then two C profiles, and then U profile again. Okay, now anytime we can modify the frames. Let's say if we make any changes in the model, we can anytime press on any frame and the tool will update it. Okay, then let's say if we would like to add additional bridgings or noggings, so you can very easily do that. We're selecting two studs, And then you just need to predefine the settings, the elevation from the top or from the bottom. Okay, then let's add additional stud. Okay, and we are going to put that with some distance from the selected stud to the right or to the left side. And then we can very easily add additional elements or additional clip angles. So let's go to modify wall framing, and here we are going to add insert details. So it will be on the open faces of the main studs and the top plates and the bottom plates. Okay, here also we're going to add the Simpson family, and we're going to put it here on the main studs. And after pressing OK, now the tool will distribute those connections easily. So also this is new version of the Wall Plus that we added into this new Wall Plus release. And again, those families, they are our created sample families, but you can modify that and you can use your own if it's necessary. Then let's modify the wall header. Anytime you can go to modify opening framing, and let's use, for example, Varen, and here I'm going to add the offset between those two diagonal elements. Okay, and that's it. We did those changes very easily. Now the same scenario we can use for the Wall Plus. As you can see, it looks actually the same as the Wall Plus, and it works in the same way. Even it uses the same, sometimes it uses the same families. And first you have to load the families into the project. And if we take a look into the structural framings that are loaded into this project for the Wall Plus and for the Floor Plus, there are not so much, because the tool is using, it can use the same families for the wall framing and for the floor framing, so it will save your project. And now again, you have to go to the framing configuration. You have to predefine your own settings for the main frames and for the buttons. Again, it's very easy to understand. There are configurations for openings, for bridgings, continuous and secondary blockings, for example, for adding details. And again, you can save that configuration for your future project. And after that, it's just the same scenario. You have to make a link between the layers from the floor and configuration from the Floor Plus. And that's it. After adding the link between configuration settings and the floor layers, you can very easily frame that floor. And again, those profiles can be exported to CNC machine. Okay, so here we're adding the main frames, and then we're going to distribute buttons. That's it. Also, we can take a look that with the Floor Plus we have also metal connections between those frames. And again, let's select the floor panel, and let's add buttons. And then the last thing that you have to do, you have to make shop drawings. It's very easy using the Floor Plus or the Wall Plus, because as you can see in both products we have shop drawing configurations, and you can very easily make shop drawings. Okay, so here we have buttons, and just one more, we're going to frame this floor panel, because also I'm going to use that in making and preparing shop drawings. So next thing that we're going to do, we're going to make a shop drawing configuration, and we have to predefine the views and the schedules that we want to achieve, and what we want to make for every floor panel. And the tool will make shop drawings. The tool will make assembly. Automatically it will collect all connections, all frames, service halls. Okay, so we have those frames here, and let's go to shop drawing configuration. Here you just need to predefine the views that you need to get. It's very easy. You can predefine your own views with your own naming, with your own layers that you need to put into each every view, and then the view template that comes from your project, so you can make your own design, your own visibility graphics, and then you can apply that to every view. Then you have to pick the title block from the project, then the part list and the material takeoff. So also those schedules, it comes from your project, so you can make your own schedule with your own design, with your own columns, and you can use that schedule as a template for making assembly schedules. And then you have to pick dimension styles that you're going to put on every stud. So that's it. After making that configuration, you just need to select any frame from the model and press Create Frame Assembly. So now the tool collects all frames from this floor panel, and then the tool adds dimensions, the tool makes schedules automatically, and also the tool will calculate the mass for you. Yeah, just you have to know that before calculating weight or mass, you have to add materials with a density. So that's mandatory condition if you want to get those values. Okay, and we can go into the assembly. So this is the 3D view. Yes, then we have the top side view with the dimensions and with marks. The last thing that we have to do, we have to sort elements. Okay, so the tool will renumber all those frames, and the tool will renumber all connections that we added into the frame. And then we can take a look into one more view. Then we have part list. Okay, then material takeoff part list. As you can see, we have the length and the mass for every element, and then we can put those views into the sheet. So here I'm going to put the top side view, then here I'm going to add 3D view, then material takeoff, then the part list, okay, and then assembly list with all elements. Okay, so after making that first sheet, I'm going back again into my shop drawing configuration, and I'm going to say that this sheet will be used as a template for my future assembly. Then again, I have to come back into my previous model, select any frame, and press on Create Frame Assembly again. So now the tool will make assembly again. It will add dimensions, it will prepare all the views, it will make schedules, and it will put those views into the sheet automatically. Okay, and yeah, we can just go directly into the sheet. Yes, and we have results with the dimensions, with all the schedules we need. And we can check analytical model. As you can see in my analytical model, we have all analytical lines. So everything is okay with our frames, and we will be able to use those analytical lines in the calculation system. Okay, so now I'm going to switch the screen to Valence's screen, and he's going to continue with the roof examples for the roof, and with making trusses automatically and rafters.
Okay, I will show you the Truss Plus tool and Roof Rafter Plus tool for roof structures modeling. So I will start from truss systems, and Some things will be similar, like you saw in the NAT presentation, and some relevant only to truss systems. So I have this sample project here, and I will run briefly the basic things you should know about this tool. Okay, the same as the previous tools, you have to load truss types into your project, then you have to make some configurations, and then you can insert truss systems or separate individual trusses. Then you can make drawings and export to CNC machines. So I already loaded truss types to this project, and you can see the configurations here. I have 3 configurations for truss types here, and you can create more of them. This is truss type where framings defines what top charts and vertical webs and diagonal webs, what framing elements should be used for them. So after you create a new type, you can select your framing elements here, and the new type will be created. You have new types now, and you can use for project for your modeling later. Okay, so this is for truss configuration, one thing, and let's go to the other configuration options for the truss system configuration. So it means what truss systems will be used for your model, and this is also, you can see here we have gable end and hip end configurations, and we can modify or create new ones with by selecting if we will insert jack trusses, or it will be only rafters, or we will insert corner bidder trusses, or it will be only rafters, and we choose the type of truss here by the top chart, and so we can use create as many types as we want, and later use them for generating trusses. And another thing is truss design settings. So this is configurations for the jack and corner builder trusses. We can define how vertical and diagonal webs will be placed, what length, and so on. So we can configure that, or we can leave it by default. This option shows that elements will be cut to one another, and the end type of truss, we can select one of these. This is we need to select the type of truss which will be used for our tool of truss generating. I will show you later about this tool. Okay, so after we make configurations, we can go on with truss generation. So first of all, I will show you how to generate truss system for our roof. I will select this roof. I will pick the edges of my roof to define where the system should be placed. Okay, and let's see. Software gives us one recommends us to use type of the BIM system here, but we can change it to another one if we want to. I will use this one. I will leave options like overhang or truss spacing, which is by default now, and I will hit OK. And let's see how solution will insert 3D grid of trusses to my roof. So we have now grid for the trusses. We can overview if we are happy with the form of this grid. We can generate trusses in the place of this grid. I will add some more grid systems here at the end of this move. Select the appropriate edges and let's see. Now, then again, we have recommended type, and we can choose our type that we need. Okay, and we will create another one here because I want to show you all the roof trusses generated. Okay, and save that. Yeah. Okay, so now we have some grids, and we can generate trusses by hitting generate truss button. Okay, so now we have this window where we have to select the type of truss which will be used for common trusses, for hip trusses, for jack trusses. So we can select from the list the type of truss we will use. Okay, I will select the thin type of truss, common trusses, and I will leave this by default. Okay, let's see. Now, tool will generate trusses the same form as this system grid we already did, and it will cut elements according to the roof. It will cut elements to each other, and it will be done automatically. We will not need to go through the plans and sections and some plane setups to make it manual, because to catch all the angles manual work, it will be a lot of time, much more than we do right now. We can watch the progress, or we can think about other issues we have at the design stage, so we save time for us to spend on thinking, on designing instead of modeling. So we see now that jack trusses, vulnerability trusses are generated, common truss type, and hip trusses are generated. It catches all the angles of the roof, and cutting all the elements. As we may see, these trusses have vertical flips and have angle whips, but these shorter ones doesn't have, as we set up this configuration window. Now we can click the last step, and we can overview the result. Okay, so now we have a lot of trusses at different angles with vertical flipping, so on. So that's pretty quick, and we'll do the same truss generation advanced, we need to again select the types of trusses, gamble, and trusses. Let's see, it will accept only two, three trusses. Okay, so we have here a gable and truss with window here, so we can insert this window, or we can just remove it by using family options. Okay, let's do this same for the other end, so we can make sure we can do all the trusses that we don't need on the roof. So I want to show a few examples how to use truss systems and how to create separate trusses by using model lines I have prepared here. Okay, so we have this truss systems, and we can use now other options to generate more trusses. Like I can select one of the trusses, I can do like the photocopy of these trusses. It will generate by the same step as defining system grid. It will generate additional trusses until the situation is changed here, and it will generate two trusses for me here because it was also in configuration, so I can use them for support, and I can do the same with other trusses. Let's see how it makes a copy of these trusses. 600 millimeters. Okay. And copy the same method. Yeah. Okay. It cuts the overhang of the truss because of this situation here, and automatically, so we don't need to bother about this. Okay. So we have this truss systems and copying of trusses, but now I want to insert this different shape of truss here. So I will use insert truss by selecting model line tool. I will select the type of truss which I want to use for this. So I will select this one, click OK, and it will create the truss according to the shape. So you will see the result, but the model line is just a model line which is drawn at the level of top of the walls, and we can see now that we have this truss over here. I draw the model line from this truss to this truss, so we can use these trusses as a support for this truss. Okay, and I can do the same with other model lines. I will again insert trusses by selecting model lines. I will select the type, the same type, and let's see. Now this model line is drawn at the edge of this roof intersection, and the truss has parallel joints. And now I will use another command. I select these two trusses, and I select command to generate new trusses with a spacing like this in the middle of them and update from the roof. So it means that the tool will automatically create trusses, and it will update the shape of the truss according to the roof, because these slopes are different, and it should change the position of the top chart and arrangement of depths and vertical studs. So let's look at it. Yeah, so we see that it inserts the truss, then adjust this truss now to the shape of the roof. And the step was 600 millimeters, so it creates a truss with this defined step. Okay, so almost over now. It will be really big headache if I would like to create this manually. How to see and enjoy all these new trusses. Yeah, it's nice. Okay, and I will make another one truss here as a supporting truss. Select the same type, and I want to create monopitch trusses to this direction and support them on this truss I'm generating now. Okay, so I have this truss, and I have drawn already a model line here. So I will hit this model line, selecting trusses, selecting model line, and now we select non-pitch. This one. Okay. So we have these tools to copy, to arrange trusses, and we can use even this simple function like copy array trusses. We can do the array. I know the distance already, so I just enter the number and I will hit OK. So it will place 16 trusses to this direction with a step of 600 millimeters. Yeah, so we can just look at this now. Okay, so I think it's okay. This roof is has this structure now. I showed you what I wanted to show. How to generate system grids, how to generate separate trusses, but another powerful tool is to create truss type model lines. I will show you how to do this in a different project here. So yeah, you can see that you can create different configuration trusses here, like fin type or scissors or trusses with attics and so on. So we can create for mono pitch or double pitch or fields like this, and we can do it also. I will show you the tool I mentioned, how to generate unique types of trusses. And we have something like this. The roof is very different shape, so I will create truss by using this function to create truss type from the line, and I select roof. And now you can see that the top chart goes like the roof, and bottom chart is the same as the model line. And we can add webs here. We can use a drawing tool. We have some snappings here, like you can see here the options. And I will do it like this. I hit OK. And now I can give it new name. OK. It will be grouped under the special type of trusses. And let's take a look how software solves this task. It will create a new type of truss. So, because there are so many configurations of roofs that we need this tool to solve this kind of tasks for us, which are not, like you cannot predict what will be the roof type. So now we have this truss, and we have it as a type. So we can go through it. And what is also important that your bottom chart may be not only horizontal, but you can make it like this, like on different model lines with some angle, and I will use it the same option to generate truss. And now you see the bottom chart is different configuration, and we can now just add our webs and hit OK and have some new type of truss. So we have some typical trusses, like 50 of them, and the option to generate any type of truss you want, and you can do it very easily. Just by picking the lines and using the roof as a top chart position. So now you see the truss here. Okay, so the other thing, if you want to make drawings, you can also do that. You can select you calculate truss volume, you sort the trusses by selecting unique mark numbers and making framings with IDs and so on. And you have to make some configuration for your views. Like you can create views, you select view templates, what tags will be inserted, and you select what schedule templates will be used, title block, and so on. And after you select the truss and make some sorting, you can create assembly on this truss. And under the assemblies, you will find the truss with views, and which you can insert and use for your documentation later. And yeah, now we have the sheet, and we can change the configuration and use this sheet template as a template for other trusses to create assembly drawings for the other trusses. As you saw it in another presentation. Okay, I will select one more truss and just take a look how it is done. We have new assembly and we have drawings. So dimensions, tags, and schedules of all the elements, the characteristics we need, and so on. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you with trusses. How to you have even more options here, but let's just stick to the basics for the beginning, and you can see that you can do a lot of good quick modeling and makes quick drawings and export to CNC machines. As I'll explain more on that. So this was trusses for roofs, and can show you the other option, like by using truss systems which were created. Like you see these elements between trusses. You can see valley trusses placed here, and so on. So there are more options in this solution. And okay, I will finish with trusses now. And let's go to the roof, where I would like to show you how to work with rafter tool. So I will drag it here. So it's the same like with other solutions. You first load families and then use all these tools to create and modify and so on the elements. So I just select my roof, I create common rafter systems, I choose the end cut of my rafter, I choose the type of my rafter, and then spacing, and where should I place it according to the roof. So it will generate frame systems on the roof. So aligned according to the roof, and you can see that they are placed according to the slope of the roof. Now I have 3 windows here, so I would like to make openings in these views, so I can select a command to create openings in these systems. Let's see the result. Okay, we have cutted our rafters, but it would be nice to have some framing around openings, so I will use this command. I will use the same profile for this. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, now we have the framing inserted between the rafters to frame openings. Okay, let's go further. Let's insert some valley. Okay, I will select all the systems, and I will insert hip and valley rafters. I will select its double C profiles. Okay, and okay. So it will insert the hip rafter here and the have the connection points of our one system, view system, and our view system. Yeah. So now we can see that we have this element here created. Line of the roof. Can select this. This we can select. Okay, with two rafters, and we will insert wedge element between them. So I select an option how wedge will be inserted. Let's enter it, and I will use two profiles again. Let's take a look. Okay, it's already inserted at the bottom of my rafters. So this is one option, and another one is insert again girder beams. Okay, I will select the girder type. I will select the distance from the ridge, or I can select the distance from level, but I will select from the ridge. I will choose not to cut them and click wall, and let's okay. So I have another girder beam here under the rafters. It's like I want it to be. Another option I will show you. I can insert, and again I select two rafters and I insert color beam systems. Okay, let's see. We have the connection type here, this one, and we have beam type, and we have distance from ridge or from the level again. So okay, okay, we have some elements between rafters again inserted automatically. We can okay, what else we can insert? We can frame two rafters of beams, and then we choose element. We choose spacing, we choose justification, and we can see that elements inserted between these two rafters. Okay, now I would like to show how to insert matrix system. I will select remove. I will insert create pattern beam systems. I select the profile, the distance. I select the place at the bottom of the roof, and the justification of beams at the bottom, and I will make it horizontal, and I click OK. Let's see. Yep. So we will have, yeah, we have now pattern elements placed on the top of the rafters. So it's nice, but we have these pattern elements going through our windows, so we have to select the system and click update beam system. Check for openings. Okay, it's element options, and let's click OK. And now we have openings got full of these elements. So that's it with roof